Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of The Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys watching today's video and spending some time with me. And guys, today we're going to talk about one of the scenarios that you're going to encounter in fishing if you do it long enough, and that's fishing in fog, or when it's foggy. So we're going to give you guys some tips and advice on that, and hopefully it helps everybody out down the road somewhere. Also, guys, just wanted to extend a big thank you. I'd like to do this every day. Thank you very much, everybody that's been using my tackle warehouse and my solar bat links I put in the description of every video. Man, you guys, by using that and bookmarking that tackle warehouse link, you guys are really supporting the channel and really helping me and my family out a lot. So big thank you to everybody that's been doing that. Okay, guys, fog is going to be part of your fishing. It's sort of like, that's sort of one of the neat things I like about bass fishing. It's like there's so many different weather variables, and each weather variable the fish react to a little bit differently, and fog is sort of one of those type of deals. So the first thing I want to say about fog, guys, is that you have got to be super careful in fog. I have seen so many goobers out there that run way too fast when it's foggy. They shouldn't be moving like they are. They're putting themselves and anybody in the boat with them in extreme danger. So the density of the fog, you really have to make a judgment call as far as being out in it. If it's thick fog, don't go out in it. You have no business going out in it, because you're putting yourself at unnecessary risk. And if it's a little bit thinner fog out there, as far as when you're running down the lake, sometimes you can see out in front of you, 30, 40, 50 yards. Just go slow, man. Just idle around, just putt around. Don't ever get going too fast. You always want to picture if a boat was coming towards you, you have to have enough reaction time to get out of the way for that boat. So don't take any risks. It's not worth it. So that given said, how do you catch fish during the fog? Now, usually there's a couple different scenarios when fog is at play. First of all, when you have fog, most of the time you don't have any wind at all. So it's usually calm when it's foggy. It's usually, different type of weather events cause fog, and they can come at different times of the year, but the common thread with it is usually foggy. And therefore the fog acts as a lower light level. So when you're talking in terms of the bass reacting and how they behave when it's foggy, it's the same thing, but they behave the same way as if it's cloudy, because that's what it is. It's a cloud that's on the water. So don't try to figure that bass react to fog different, simply because it's fog. It's just a low light level. So therefore, when you're fishing low light levels, one of the things, the consideration in there, one of the big considerations for me is water temperature. Water temperature in correlation with your lure technique and fog is going to make a lot of difference. And I found that most of the time when you're fishing in foggy conditions, this is the time you want to take advantage of your moving baits, your power fishing baits, because it's low light conditions. So how I determine what bait that I want to use is dependent upon water temperature and water clarity. In general, if that water temperature is over 60, 65 degrees, anywhere between this time of year up until October, early November, you can't beat a topwater and a spinnerbait, guys. Those are my two favorite fog lures when that water's warmer. Topwater lure, if I got a little bit cleaner water, spinnerbait if it's got a little bit more color in it, although a spinnerbait can even work good in clear water if it's really dense fog. But the moving baits that come up, that stay high in the water column, that come horizontally through the water column, like a spinnerbait and a topwater, is a really good way to catch them. A popper, buzzbait, walking topwater, a chugger, that like the old Pop-R is one of my favorite things to throw when it's cloudy. And a larger, bigger bladed spinnerbait that I can reel closer to the surface. If the water temperature is below 60 degrees, obviously it depends on how much below that is, but anytime I've got water temperatures like from the low 40s up to 60 degrees, it's usually something like a crankbait, a jerkbait, possibly a chatterbait, something like that. A jerkbait works really good if the water temperature is in the 40s and low 50s, if the water's clear. Some type of a shallow running crankbait, like a square bill crankbait, can be really productive. If it's a little bit, on the cooler side with that, or maybe even a crawfish pattern sometimes. And again, chatterbait can be a really good lure in a pretty diverse set of situations. One of the things you'll find out about fishing in fog is that you can't cover a lot of water, because in the advent of GPS that we have now, it's a lot easier to cover water. But back before we had GPS, when it got foggy, you just parked your butt. You didn't go anywhere. You may, put on the trolling motor and go down the bank. But the best fog areas are going to be those areas that fish take advantage of low light levels, which are, points are really good, rocky banks, channel swing transitions. One thing about fog is you don't really have to concentrate in and around heavier cover. So like your thicker grass beds, your docks, thick wood cover, not saying you can't catch them there, but you don't have to. You can go in those areas that the fish are roaming around a little bit more, which are the open areas, rocky banks, and that type of deal. Sort of like the same type of places you fish at night. But anyway, guys, that's just a few quick tips with fog fishing out there. Like I said, just be careful if you guys get out in the fog, because it can be dangerous. And just take advantage of putting that trolling motor down and fishing where you're at until that fog lifts. So hope it helps out, guys. We'll talk later.